Imagine it is Monday morning. 10,000 employees of a large company sit down to start their workday. Some need to check their attendance, others need to process sales orders, and managers review their dashboards. But every single one of those tasks requires logging into a completely different application. Because there's no central way to log in, people have to juggle different usernames and passwords for each tool. Passwords get forgotten, the IT department gets flooded with thousands of reset requests, and from a security perspective, it's impossible to enforce the exact same rules everywhere. To solve this, companies use a centralized system called SAP Identity Authentication Service, or IAS for short. Think of it as a single digital doorway that sits directly in front of all those separate applications. Instead of every individual application trying to verify who is logging in, they all pass that job off to this one central service. It is the most efficient way to manage access for thousands of people across a vast cloud network. Before it grants access to anything, IAA asks one simple question: is this person really who they claim to be? This diagram shows how the process works. This verification is called authentication. It operates exactly like a security guard standing at the front door of a corporate office building. When you walk up, the guard checks your employee ID. If your ID is valid, the main gate opens and you are allowed inside the network. But just because you are inside the building doesn't mean you can walk into the payroll office and change people's salaries. Those specific permissions are called authorization. Once you are past the front gate, the individual departments decide what you are allowed to do. IAA only acts as that front door security guard. It handles the authentication. The individual software applications themselves handle the authorization, checking your specific roles and permissions. By keeping identity verifications separate from what a user is allowed to do, software developers do not have to build a brand new security checkpoint for every single new application they create. When you use IaaS, you get a feature called Single Sign-On. You type in your credentials exactly once. After that, any other trusted application on the network recognizes your identity automatically. You don't have to log in a second or third time. It also allows administrators to set up multi-factor authentication. After you enter your password, the system asks for a temporary code from your phone or a security key. If a thief steals your password, they still cannot get in without that second piece of physical evidence. Administrators can set rules, like password length or expiration dates, in one single location, rather than programming those rules 50 different times for 50 different tools. Employees get to use their tools without constant interruptions, and the IT department maintains a strict, unified shield around the entire company. This network diagram shows the four main parts of a login request: the user, the central IS checkpoint, a platform layer called SAP BTP, and a final destination application, like SAP Built. Let's say an employee named Arun wants to get to work. He opens his browser and goes straight to the application. The application sees that Arun hasn't logged in yet today, so it immediately redirects him backward to the central IS checkpoint. Now Arun is looking at the login screen. He enters his username and password. IIS checks his credentials, verifies his multi-factor mobile code, and confirms he is logging in from a known device. Once he passes those tests, IAS generates a secure digital token, essentially a temporary VIP pass. It sends this token through the BTP layer, which then unlocks the application. Arun is in. The destination application never actually handled or even saw Arun's password. Because the password stays completely isolated at the central checkpoint, a problem at the application level cannot expose sensitive user credentials. This central model is especially useful for massive organizations. Imagine a manufacturing company with 15,000 employees. They likely already use a system like Microsoft Entra ID to manage their corporate computer logins. This diagram illustrates identity federation. Instead of forcing employees to create new, separate passwords for their SAP tools, administrators link the two systems together, so the SAP checkpoint completely trusts the external Microsoft system. Employees turn on their computers, log in with their standard Microsoft credentials, and they instantly have access to all their specialized SAP cloud services. IAS acts as a universal translator, smoothly connecting standard corporate IT setups to the specific technical requirements of the SAP environment. If you are new to managing these systems, you will often hear IAS mentioned alongside another acronym, IPS, or Identity Provisioning Service. It is very common to confuse the two. This graphic shows the easiest way to remember the difference. IAS asks, "Who are you?" It verifies your identity at the door. IPS asks, "Should this user account exist in this application?" It handles the administrative work of actually creating and deleting the user files. By combining single sign-on, identity federation, and centralized security rules, administrators can maintain order and protect data across thousands of daily users. In our next video, we will explore Identity Provisioning Service in detail, showing exactly how those user accounts are created and managed behind the scenes. Understanding how the central authentication checkpoint works is the absolute first step for anyone looking to manage a modern SAP cloud network.
Don't forget to subscribe and press the bell icon.